On this episode of Driven Too Far, we're talking about relationships with the state trucking associations and how those can be the key to our success. Hello, I'm Andrew Winkler with Chief Carriers, and this is Driven Too Far, the truth about trucking, a podcast that helps over-the-road truck drivers balance career and family. Hey, welcome back to Driven Too Far. On this episode, we have a returning guest, Kent Grisham, president of Nebraska Trucking Association. Kent, thanks for joining us again.
Thank you. I love coming and sitting down for these conversations with you.
Right on. So, since we launched the podcast almost 3 years ago now, one of the things we know that we do is we provide information for a lot of people that are looking at trucking and maybe thinking about getting into the transportation world. And that's where you guys come in at the Nebraska Trucking Association. You have some programs there that help entry-level drivers. Can you tell me about those?
Well, it starts with career exploration and the availability of careers, educating primarily a younger audience. You know, we target a lot of high school and community colleges and that age group. We at the NTA did some landmark, first of its kind youth market research. It's been a couple of years ago that we did with the American Transportation Research Institute and the University of Nebraska. And it really helped us learn the things that younger people want to hear from employers about potential careers. And that drives a lot of what we do when we go out with our mobile truck driving simulators,
Right.
high school career fairs. We have a virtual reality diesel technology experience. We take trucks because we learned that one of the things that young people want is to actually experience what it's like to be inside a full truck. They see them on the highway, and for a lot of kids, for lack of a better term, that's the closest they get to them. So we kind of start with that career exploration, and then we immediately tell them there are options for funding education in truck driving or in diesel technology through our foundation. Last year, we gave away 103 scholarships, all total for CDLs, diesel tech, and even logistics and supply chain management programs in the state. And then we connect through different career fairs and through events throughout the state. We try to connect as many of our member companies that have openings, that have the need to keep filling up their workforce, to those people who are coming out of it. In addition, we try to make it easier as for people who have some experience and some background in trucking. And I'm talking primarily the farm and ranch kids that are out there in the state. There are statistics that actually show that if you learned how to drive a truck when you were working on your family farm or ranch, because the people who are teaching you are your family, the truck is an essential part of the farm and ranch, and you bend it up, there are consequences that far outweigh anything that might happen any other time. And they used to be able, of course, before the era of the entry-level driver training programs, they used to be able to just go down and take a test. They can't do that anymore.
Not so much anymore.
Yeah. So we have an online ELDT program that helps get them a head start, and we can help point them in the direction for getting the behind-the-wheel training that they need.
So you guys kind of take care of the written part of it, is that right?
Yeah. All online, all at their own pace.
And then for the driving part of the test, you kind of hook them up, basically.
We do. Yeah. There are a lot of options. There are some community colleges that will pick them up and do just the behind the wheel. We can actually help the farm and ranch operation be their own training school. And we help them through that process so that that training that's already happening with those farm trucks can actually be certified and count towards their behind-the-wheel training.
Now, you said something, I'm going to go way back here. So 30 years ago, when I went through CDL school, I just remember there wasn't a lot of options because they were through some of the community colleges and whatnot. They didn't qualify for educational type financing always because it was more of a certificate program at the time. Is that still the case today?
It's still the case today. CDL programs, it's harder to get the more traditional college student financial aid programs. There are some that pay for CDL programs, particularly like veterans benefits will pay usually for a CDL program. But a lot of students have trouble, and that's where our scholarship program fits in through our foundation.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I wanted to make sure we talked about it because it's such a fantastic program. You said 103?
We did 103 scholarships in 2024.
Man, I love that impact.
Yeah.
So, just so the audience knows it's out there, there is means to help you get your CDL. It's you just got to kind of know where to look. If you're not in Nebraska, maybe your own state association has something similar going on.
Most of them do, but I'm gonna. What y'all don't necessarily know is that Andrew is part of our senior leadership team at the Nebraska Trucking Association, so I like to brag. Our programs are probably among the most aggressive
Yeah.
and the most prolific. A lot of the state trucking associations, they'll do 3 or 4 scholarships a year, and it's only for children of members and things like that. Not us. We're out there beating the bushes at high schools and career fairs. The state fair here at Husker Harvest Days, we go everywhere, and it's as easy as scanning a QR code to start your application.
Yeah, I am really impressed with the work you guys have done at the association with the outreach, understanding that we've got to get to some of these people a little bit younger when they're in high school and stuff, and let them know that all the great careers there are in transportation, logistics, driving, all those things.
And the diesel tech
Oh yeah,
field.
can't forget the techs.
Yeah, the industry needs more and more and more. And I just recently gave a presentation on the state of the industry to a group of big group across the country that all came to Omaha for a conference. The people who run publicly funded truck driving training schools.
Okay.
And we were talking about career opportunities. And when you take this chart that I showed them that shows employment growth in the trucking industry, it was on this steady curve up. COVID hit, went down like this. COVID got wrapped up, and we moved past it. And it has been on this steady climb, even in the midst of a freight recession, even in the midst of less than favorable economic times. The expansion in career opportunities in trucking has not faltered in the least.
Yeah, and it's not going to slow down either. I think about the boomer generation retiring, that's happening. And then myself being part of Gen X, it's not that far off,
As
5,
a
10
boomer,
years.
I want to thank you for pointing that out. Yeah.
That's right. Well, I'm right behind you. So it is incredible how many, the need for drivers and professionals in this industry, it's not going to change. So I tell people, I was at the Nebraska State Fair with your guys' exhibition, and I got a chance to talk to a young man there. He was still in high school, and I think he was oohing and ahhing over the diesel engine you had there, which was cool. And he was leaning towards the tech side, but his mom was there. And I had a quick conversation with him and said, listen, I started 30 years ago, started through CDL school. This is what I've been able to accomplish in 30 years, working for a couple different companies, had a lot of great support along the way. But the point was, if you choose trucking or driving, or if you choose a diesel tech, that's not where it ends. You can do so much more in your career.
Every motor carrier member of the NTA has upward mobility for its drivers, for its techs, for its people that work behind the scenes as well. And, we forget sometimes that the trucking industry is the 3rd largest employer group in the state of Nebraska. 1 in 12 Nebraskans are employed in one way or another by the trucking industry. And there are so many diesel techs that become management. There are so many drivers that many of them love what they do so much. They're putting in millions of miles safely. Yes, it can be done. Met a guy just not too long ago, had 5 million safe miles. It's an
that
incredible
guy.
story. Yeah.
It is an incredible story.
So those kinds of opportunities for careers of a lifetime does not mean you're going to be stuck in a maintenance pit under trucks or behind the wheel necessarily, because it's such a dynamic industry.
Yeah, so come in with your eyes wide open. It's I originally, out of high school, I went to a 2-year college for business and accounting and stuff, and I did an internship in a tax firm during tax season. And I was like, okay, this isn't it. This isn't what I want to do. Stumbled into trucking through a mutual friend of the family and stuff, and never left.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing career.
Yeah. Well, we really love being able to talk to younger and younger kids. In fact, we're doing more programs in middle schools because we're seeing research that tells us keep getting them younger and younger. In fact, we're working now on our own coloring book that we can distribute to kids even in the elementary ages.
Well, I can't thank you enough for all the work you guys do down at the NTA. You guys are fantastic. You have an amazing crew down there.
There we do.
And the work that goes on behind the scenes, I know not a lot of people see it, but I truly appreciate everything you guys do.
Well, we thank you for your leadership and your support.
Yeah, thanks for joining me today.
You bet.
Thanks again for joining us on this episode of Driven Too Far. Make sure you check out the links in the show notes for more opportunities in trucking.